I start talking to her, I build some attraction with her, but then a hotter girl comes in, so I'm going to change my target. Now I can turn this girl into a pawn. You know what I mean by that is, when you play, have you guys ever played chess? You know when you get your pawn to the other side of the board, you can change the pawn for a queen? So this girl comes in with, say, this guy, who just happens to be her friend. It's not her boyfriend. But I can now take this girl and introduce her to this guy, like, hey Lois, this is Justin. Boom, they become a two-set, and then I can isolate my target into another two-set, and then I have my wing to rover around me. Just in case they kind of reinitiate the chat, he can block them out. He can cock block this guy from getting back to his girl, and I can do what needs to be done here.
So, without further ado, Brian, let's get started here.
So Maz and I made this PowerPoint a couple months back. We've been kind of working on it. I have to apologize. Some of the pictures of the girls aren't as high of caliber as we'd like, but we kind of just wanted to get the photographs in certain situations so we'd be able to convey what's going on. I made this from a first-person perspective, as where I'm the pickup artist and he's the wing. So without further ado, select two players. Let's get going. I'm going to go over the players in the game first. These are going to be like the characters and elements you're going to see when you're out in the field. First there's the set. A set is any group of people. One set is one person, two set, two people, three set, three people. There's going to be different kinds of sets. There might be two guys and a girl, which we call that a mixed set. When I tend to be out in the field, everyone I look at, like I see hoops over their heads. You'll see like these three people come in, these two people, and I can focus in on exactly where I'm going to. Then I'll be like, I'm looking at the blonde target in that two set, or the HB9 in that three set. Hot babe, like a 9, 1 to 10 scale. And there's the pickup artist. That's the guy who dedicated his life to becoming more successful with women in dating. Make it so that we can have our full choice of our sexual selection. Whereas most guys, we call them AFCs, that's the average guy that's out there just kind of getting lucky. Whereas the PUA mindset is, okay, I walk into a venue, that's the girl I'm going home with. Not this girl over here who's interested in me and I'm not so interested in her, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, bam, this is my target, I'm gonna make this happen. The target, or HB for hot babe, so
HB, bro.
Yeah, HB, HB9, HB10, HB85. That's the girl that you're interested in, your object of affection, your prospect, customer, whatever you want to call her. If I'm with my wing in the field, I'm going to he's either going to know if I open this set, and he's going to know like the hotter one is usually my target, or I may say a cue word such as like, oh, let me guess, you must be the good girl, and you must be the bad girl. So he knows like the bad girl is most likely my target. Or usually, we will enter a set a little different. If I say, I'm interested in that girl, he may go in first to talk to the girls, and he'll give me an AI, an accomplishment intro, which I'm going to go over in a few minutes, and then I'll come in. So instead of a cold approach, it becomes a hot approach, because now she already knows of me. There's the obstacle. An obstacle is any person or element in the set. Like for this set right here, I wanted to talk to this girl, but she's got 3 of her fat friends with her. Now I have to either keep that entire group occupied, or they're going to do something like, hey, we got to go to the bathroom, and they're going to grab her friend and pull her away, which is where my wing can come in and use a little fluff talk on these 3 girls, start saying like, hey, where are you guys in? Where are you from? What do you do? Blah, blah, a bunch of bullshit just to keep them at bay. Then I can isolate my target maybe 5 to 8 feet away from the group, demonstrate higher value to her, ultimately number close, and get that time bridge so that I can meet up with her later. Basically, my wing's job is just to keep these girls occupied so they don't rescue her friend.
You guys understand how the way he's explaining it to you? Okay, the most important thing is what you have to do is be aware of the things that are happening around you. Okay, you have to be aware. Okay, exactly like even before you open a setup, you have to be aware of her actions. You know, at that point, you might go into a point where she might be having a deep conversation with her friend. You don't want to go up to that right away. You want to let that simmer you know, a little bit before. You have to be aware and knowing when to go at the right timing. It's all about timing and precision. Not only that, it gives you a lot less rejection, you know, percentage-wise, I would say. Even though that she might have her shield up, but to me, if you're aware of what's going on and you move at certain times, you can accomplish a lot more.
I wanted to say one more thing. Sometimes the obstacle can be like an entity. She may be jogging the track, and I have to be able to either stop her, which is most likely not going to happen. So in that case, I'm going to have to run with her and open it up. Actually, if we could do a little demo real quick, pretend you're kind of walking. Now, if I'm following behind him kind of talking, I look like I'm following too much. It's going to creep,
Who's leading?
creep the girl out.
Yeah, who's leading there though? Who's leading that? The woman is. And he's following me. See, that's the trick right there. You don't ever want that to happen, because then she knows, oh, I got this guy, you know.
And now
So,
if I'm coming up, go ahead.
Okay, what I do is I'm actually walking right beside her, like kind of in the same momentum. It's all about momentum and clarity, you know, parallel between each other. And then that's easily when you can easily talk over your shoulder. And it's like, you know, either way, you know, either I'm talking to you or not, you can listen to me or not, but I can either go this way or I can keep going forward. I don't need your time, you know, I'm going somewhere else. You know, who knows? She don't know where we're going.
Yeah, you're giving her an escape route for her comfort threshold. And if we're walking kind of side by side, like you said, I can talk over the shoulder. And
That was good.
if she leaves, it's no problem. I just keep walking straight. I don't turn and keep trying to follow her. But at the same time, you're kind of just talking like this. Because if I look directly at her, I lose value, right? Because now it's like I'm trying to get something. So I want to...
Don't beg her attention.
Yeah.
Don't beg.
So anyway, I'm just wanting to go into that for a second, because the obstacle might be that she's running. It might be the music in the club could be the obstacle, because now it's like I can't really talk to her. I'm gonna have to rely on body language. I've got to get around these obstacles and break through. Okay, the average frustrated chump. In the community, they either have like two terms. There's either like the AFC or the PUA. You're either in like what is it, average frustrated chumpville, or you're in PUAville. There's a river in between, and you know, you're gonna drown. You can't be in between.
Jump on the boat, man.
The average frustrated chump is the guy who, like I said before, he's out at the bar and he may happen to just get lucky. Some girl's drunk and she thinks he's cute. He goes home with her for the night and thinks he's a fucking, like a player, right? And then there's they say there's like three types of guys. There's like naturals, kind of like what you were saying, like you do all these techniques, but you just never knew there was like a name for them.
Yeah.
I've talked to other guys that are like, they tell me this step by step. They're like, usually I just open a conversation with the girl, try to get her to go somewhere else and get her back. And I'm like, cool. So like we call that, you know, jumping, moving. So there's like the guys, the natural guys. Then there's, say, the guys that don't get it, and then there's the guys that don't get it but can learn. So we call them, like what we're doing, unnaturals. So there's the wingman or wingwoman. Wingwoman's a little different.
Wingwoman.
Yeah, that's better if you're
See, I knew that before that term came out.
Mhm.
I used it last night.
Wingwoman, they look at it more like that's you and your girlfriend going tandem hunting for like a third girl. Your wingman's like your hunting partner. So, for example, like with this two set that we opened up, I was interested in talking to her, but then she's got this obstacle friend where Maz can kind of keep her at bay and just bullshit with her until I can pull this girl aside and do what needs to be done. There's the pawn. This is a situation where if we take this other girl out first, you ever go into a party, it's a bunch of guys, like a sausage fest, but then there's kind of like one chubby girl, but you took that chubby girl and you put her in like a model kind of place, she wouldn't be shit, right? But you walk into this party and that's like the only selection. I start talking to her, I build some attraction with her, but then a hotter girl comes in, so I'm going to change my target. Now I can turn this girl into a pawn. And what I mean by that is, when you play, have you guys ever played chess? You know when you get your pawn to the other side of the board, you can change the pawn for a queen? So this girl comes in with, say, this guy, who just happens to be her friend. It's not her boyfriend. But I can now take this girl and introduce her to this guy, like, hey Lois, this is Justin. Boom, they become a two-set, and then I can isolate my target into another two-set, and then I have my wing to rover around me. Just in case they kind of reinitiate the chat, he can block them out. He can cock block this guy from getting back to his girl. And I can do what needs to be done here. The pivot.
Smiling with his approval on the back of the picture.
Yeah.
You.
You know what?
Shit is tight, huh?
You were smiling with approval
Yeah.
in the back like a little kid
And I
in a
was
candy
like-
store. My child, taking wing. Got you on film, that one.
It's you know, we've done a lot together. You have to, I mean, it's not gonna just happen to you overnight. It's just not gonna happen like that. Nothing ever happens overnight. You always have to work hard towards something to accomplish any type of goal, you know, that you want to do in life. And so, you know, and it's just fortunate that Ryan and I, we developed a creativity to where both of us are enjoying what we do, both of us, you know, and that's, so I mean, we're here to help you guys. We're really here to help you guys. But it's really all up to you and how you want to change your life for the better.
So the pivot is like, that could be a girlfriend of yours, a friend that, maybe a girl that you picked up at the club the night before. You're not actually going to sleep with her, but you may use her as social proof when you go to the club the next night. You can parade around with her on your arm, giving a pre-selection to every other girl in the club, so you don't come in like solo. And it's always better to roll with more women than more guys. So when I end up talking to her, I get that hot approach. So she's way more receptive to my approach. Boom! By the next day, now I have one more multiple long-term relationship going on with any other girl that I'm seeing. I don't really look at her like a wing woman because she wasn't necessarily trying to hook me up. But in this other girl's eyes, she just sees pre-selection. She sees something. Oh, other women, you know, find him attractive. Other women want this guy. You know, did I go into that thing last week about the they take like a male bird and put him in a cage with a bunch of female birds, and they just kind of fly around, but until you put a stuffed female bird next to that same male bird, bam, and they're like, oh shit, this woman wants him. Then they all start mating. The alpha male of the group, or the AMOG, you're gonna find out a lot of women are in sets with guys. Hot women are considered high value. They either have guys around them to protect them, or they have what we call orbiters, guys that like look at the woman like a shining sun, and they kind of orbit around her. Those are the guys that she tools, and
Those are beggars.
yeah, beggars. Those are the guys that
Trying
she.
to vie for her attention.
Mhm.
They never become a friend.
Yeah.
Never become a
And
friend.
basically, I mean,
Never.
yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, you might actually get to talk to her, you know, as a that, but she's only gonna stick you in the friend zone,
Right.
and that's it.
When a relationship starts, it can usually go one of two ways. It'll either be going sexual or going into the friendship zone. And the
Right.
further you meet her, the harder it is to make that jump across. There's ways to do it, and we'll get into that. Not today, but we will. But like I was talking about orbiters, the girl I'm seeing right now, the other night she called me up, and she's like, save me, I'm on a date with this guy, and he's like so boring, I'm about to give him your business card and send him to your class. And I'm cracking up, and I'm like, well, after you're done, why don't you come over here and come hang out? So she's like, yeah, okay, he's gonna buy me a couple more drinks and then I'll come see you. So I'm like, wow, dude, don't be that orbiter. Like, he's just gonna get tooled and then she's gonna come fuck me. I'm like, yes, I'm that guy. It's a great feeling. You never know who the guy that she's with. That could be her boyfriend. This guy don't look like her boyfriend, but it could be her cousin, her brother. In this case, Maz actually opened this set, and then we started befriending this guy, and he actually turns out to be her younger brother. He AIs us to the target, telling her how cool these guys are. Like, these are the coolest guys in Vegas. So he's handing us over on a silver platter, and all of a sudden this girl's like, oh my god, I love you guys.
See how we're like just very subtle to every encounter that we approach. We're not like trying to come off like some meaty guy, this and that, blah blah blah. You know, this testosterone freak that's just trying to you know to bring attention to themselves. We're bringing attention far more better in a better way than this way than any other.
You're having fun. You're having
Exactly.
fun with them. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and then during the time, sometimes like you will get an AMOG that's the big beefy guy. Don't worry, it's like he's no competition, bro. When you get it down, you're gonna steal his girl from under his
And you
nose.
can recognize that. You know, like, I mean, sometimes I recognize like, oh, I got this. You know, it's done.
So just remember, like in every set, you kind of want to ask maybe 2 to 3 minutes in, you know, how do you guys all know each other?
I mean, it goes all back to the caveman. You know, the caveman was the provider of his wife, and you know, it's the man, okay? The man that creates this genetic, paradigm, stuff like that.
There's the cock block. You'll run into him. For example, like you could see, I already built enough attraction with this girl right here, and then this guy, random guy, just comes in, starts grabbing on her, talking about like, hey, he's all drunk and shit. But lucky my wing is right there to be like, oh hey, I remember you from the club, come here, and like just rip him out of the set so that they can isolate him, and then I can end up number closing her. And the person that took this picture was her girlfriend, so I actually used my camera as a lock-in prop to keep them in set. I'm like, hey, can you take a picture of us? Boom, so she can't leave now because she's got my camera, and I got the girl right here.
You're kind of a camera whore, aren't you? Because, that's a good way just to lock people in. As you're making that comment, I see that's kind of, your camera is your wingman.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a newbie, but I've only been with you for about an hour.
Your camera
That's
and
just
your
kind of
cell
what
phone.
I've picked up. Your camera is your wingman.
Hell yeah, dude. This thing
I
is
like that though.
It gives you a lock and prop. I like a lock and prop.
Yeah,
No,
because
that's good.
in a way, if you were the girl that I was trying to talk to and this is your friend, I can, or even vice versa. Maybe I want to befriend you and that's my target. I can be like, hey, hold this for a second. Don't be a thief. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. And like, she's stuck there now. She can't go anywhere. She's got my camera. I can sit there and befriend you. Hey, what up? Good. High five. Anyway.
You're not as threatening.
Hey, give me my thing back. And what's great about this thing too is
that was good. That was good.
a girl I was seeing, she had her friend with her, and she wanted to, her friend wanted to meet this guy. So I actually used the camera. I was like, I'm gonna get that guy to take a picture of us, and then he's gonna be locked in, and then we're gonna take the picture of him and your friend and get them talking. So I was like, hey bro, can you get a picture of us? And then we swapped, and oh, let's all get a picture together. And then all of a sudden they get to talking, we leave, and
It's so non-threatening, and it's so common today.
hired guns. That's any
Those are mine, baby.
any bartender, waitress, go-go dancer, any woman that's hired for her beauty to raise the testosterone level in the club. We have like certain routines where for getting hired guns, because you're like, how could I meet the go-go dancer? She's up on this riser. But there's like a whole technique-based program that we do that's like directed how to demonstrate higher value to these women, to close them, strippers, anybody.
Really?
Yes.
I'd want to stay away from them personally.
You can win with us. I'll take you.
More of a challenge, man. That's the top of the pedestal right there.
Better in bed too.
To
I
me,
don't know,
it's
dude,
all.
I'm a neat germaphobe. Could be
it's
around
all-
the fucking
it's all
stripper,
about
man.
The quality, man. If I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna go for the best.
Alright, tailgater is like a term. This guy kind of wanted to learn the game, and he just ended up following me around all night, right? But what happens is, like, you should see that this would be a 4 set, but it's really a 3 set and a 1 set, because you can tell like the way that they're leaned in, where it's like this is solid and this guy's just trying to like take value from the interaction. And also what happens is you'll have like a tailgater on you, and you'll have like you, and then you have a lower status male with you, and just by rolling with him, it's going to lower your value. The women are going to see that. Like, so when we go in, if I'm with Maz, we want to go in as 2 high value males, because we have to be like higher status than both those females. I'm going to go in, if he's chosen a target, I'm going to go in a little lower value than him, but still higher than the girls, because I want the target to stay attracted to him. But she'll find like, if she's like in the presence of all of us coming in there like with that high energy, with that status, she's still going to be attracted. So you'll notice a lot of guys will come in a set. One guy will be the bold guy of the group talking to the girls, and the other guy is back here kind of just standing there, which is lowering his value. So we'll kind of, either we go in tandem together, or I'll go in, and then when he comes in, he's going to have just the same amount of energy. He's going to come in, take over the set, run some routine. So, I don't know, I walk in the club and I kind of keep it looking like a Zelda game. I just see all my sets, I see my targets, and make it happen. Why do we wing? Beautiful women are usually not found alone, they're often found in groups. So if I can't keep the attention of the whole set, the target's friends, they want to rescue a friend, so I have my wing to disarm the obstacles of the set. Accomplishment intros. Remember I was saying like the first wing will go into the girls, and then I might be waiting behind. He knows like, here's my target, the obstacle. He's going to go in, say he's back here, he's chosen his target. I'm gonna go in first, and I'm gonna say, you know, hey, did you guys see the fight outside? Blah blah blah. Reach the hook point so that they want me to stay, and then I start saying, I gotta get back to my friend in a second. Actually, you know, I might say something like, you know, let me catch you up to speed with my friends here. That's DJ Maz over there. He won't tell you this himself, but this guy rips it up on the ones and twos. We never get to chill anymore because he's always working in the studio and he's running his landscaping business. This dude's like really got his shit together. He's not someone that needs anything from you, you know what I mean? I'll introduce you later if you promise not to embarrass me. So like, I just put all these value spikes for him. Owns his own business, is a DJ, I've grounded his identity. So he comes in and he says something like, hey, do you know where Sarah's at? And I might be like, oh, she's over at the bar, she's got your money. But anyway, meet these two girls, they're pretty cool, they're not weird or anything. And then she already knows of them, then they're like, oh my god, you're a DJ? Blah, 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 my friend's a
And it's
DJ.
like, then I can easily go like, okay, well, which one's the good girl and which one's the bad girl? And it's like, boom, okay, then,
You're hooked.
then yeah, and then I mean, it's just, it's all how you communicate with your wing, and that's the most important thing, is the communication and being on the same level. You know, because ultimately, if you're on the same level at all times, you can accomplish a lot more.
You should have an AI like written up for yourself so that we know everyone's identity. Like if I go over Rich, I already know like this guy's a master computer. And I'll be like, this guy can fucking take a PC and just like, you know. I know Mazin's. So I need to get your guys.
It's tough to build an identity, believe it or not, and I'm still working on it. I'm still to this day working on it, and believe it or not, like, I'm very successful in my landscape business that I do have for myself, but there's no attraction there, you know. There's no catch, you know, because they don't know what the fuck that I'm talking about, you know. They think probably I'm some dude that just fucking pulls lawns all day, you know. No, that's not even close, not even close. And so it was tough for me in the beginning. It was tough. But now that I'm finding out to where I use my music, which is my passion, and you know, if you have a passion in life somewhere in there, you could use that to your advantage. And everybody has a passion, you just gotta find it, you know. And the thing is, it's like that is so much more attractive from a man, okay, to be a DJ or even a life coach or whatever, you know. More so than because once I get her to the house, then she'll see what I do. Because then that will demonstrate higher value.
She'll say something again like, what does he do? And he'll say like, he'll say, oh, I'm a business owner. And I'll be like, yeah, this guy's a creator. Oh my god, have you been to his house? It's like being on a fucking vacation. It's like being in a feng shui video. She's like, oh my god. Like, but if he just says, I'm a landscaper, she's like, she has no correlation in her head of how can this give me bottle service and VIP in the club. So
right, because ultimately, you know, whatever type of relationship that she was in before she met you, okay, you have to compare to that, or not even compare to that, be above that, because otherwise she's not gonna have anything to do with you. And I'm talking, this is the high caliber women. This is the real deal. This is what I'm experiencing talking to. Is that right there, you know? You have to match to what she had before, or even better. Otherwise, she's gonna find it somewhere else.
I go into right here about like, you can see like this girl is pretty haggard over here, but like Mazin is with her hot friend. Sometimes you're gonna end up with some obstacles that you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this. So like we look at it as like, you gotta have a mindset of abundance. Like I've gotta just work this girl and charm her, even though I'm like, fuck, I can't even stand looking at her. Give me a fucking blindfold. But so just so he can have enough time to demonstrate his value and get that number, or take her to a bathroom or whatever he's got to do. But and you can see like right here, like I'm sitting here trying to work her, and she keeps trying to get back. She's like, I gotta get back to my friend. Oh my god, if you can do that in 2 seconds. I just got to tell you one thing. Let me show you this cool thing. Hey, come here. You know, just
She was drunk.
Mystery calls them Uggs and war pigs.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
abundance mentality is the belief and life perspective that there's no shortage of hot girls to meet in any man's lifetime. Rather than viewing the number of girls in a man's life as a limited supply, the PUA sees the world as chock full of girls. In a tribal society, in the world before today, there exist approximately 50 people per tribe. So initiating courtship with the wrong woman or crossing the wrong authority figure could mean being a social outcast of the tribe, thus genetic death, genetic suicide to thousands of years ago. So since the industrialization and population boom in the world today, humans have experienced an infinitely large increase in wealth, technology, and opportunities in the world. One may argue that given the advent of the internet, we live today in a world that is more connected and more entrepreneurial than any other time in history. The opposite mindset of abundance mentality is the scarcity mentality. This is the mindset that we have a fixed amount of resources. One must be careful in pursuing and using his or her resources to achieving one's goals. So while the scarcity resource serves us well, if we were stranded on an island in today's modern world, it would generally keep us in check from authorities and our assigned place in society. This abundance mentality is an important truth during one's self-development. Basically, I'm going into the fact that, like, there's so many girls out there. It's like, if you lose a set, you don't have to go into damage control and try to fix it. You could just go on. Like, however, you'll see like the hottest girl in the club. I kind of always keep the mindset that there's 99 more of her right behind her. And if I didn't get her tonight, I'll get her tomorrow. I don't have to like keep plowing and plowing until there's no field left, and she ends up calling security. It's just more like,
that's the thing, guys.
Pleasure to meet you, and I'm out.
That's the things. I mean, I've had many opportunities to settle down, and I'm not looking at, like, for, you know, you have to know what you want. You know, why are you guys here? You know, why are you guys here? That's your first question. You know, and I've come to realize over the years that, you know, I finally figure out what I want, what I truly want, and that's why I've been single for so long, because I've been in search to find what I want, and so I wasn't afraid, okay, to still be lonely or whatever type of shit, you know, because I'm happy alone now. It's finding that balance inside of you as a person, as a man, okay, that you need to find in order to be happy within yourself. Otherwise, you know, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
We try to build ourselves up so much in this community, so ultimately you'll be able to.
I was giving up on the wrong page.
Oh, it's cool. Actually, you brought something out. Like, ultimately later on, you'll be able to
Been a
walk
long
into,
time, man.
say, any public gathering just by yourself with no one there and still be perfectly comfortable with the company. See what I'm saying? Like, you'll have that inner frame in you built so strong it won't matter. Like, there'll be no rejection.
You won't be a beggar. You won't be a beggar.
Mm.
You know, you won't give in too quickly for the wrong reasons. And that is the toughest thing for a man to face. Because in the dating community, it's tough already. It's a tough shit, you know? And, I mean, granted, the things that we do makes it 10 times easier to get exactly what we want, you know, but you have to work at it, and it takes a lot of time, you know, to get actually what you want in life, to be happy, to be fulfilled for yourself, and as well as her, you know, and that's the most important thing, and that's what we do. That's what we do. We change ourselves, and this right here is only another grasp of what you can take, just like in the Matrix. Just download that file, and you got it programmed in your system. And you just got to become that.
Flash game. You can see the targets in the back, but we do this thing where, remember I said like lower your standards, raise your average? We start opening some sets of some girls that are like 5s and 6s, just because they're really open to communication, no other guys are talking to them, and I can grab them quickly, get pre-selection to, say, a 7 or an 8, kind of pray with these girls around the club, and then, okay, say I grab 2 6s and I see a hot girl with 2 guy friends. I can walk up, be like, hey, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so, pawn her off to this guy, pawn her off to this guy, and then I can take the queen. I can build some attraction with her, and then repeat the process all the way up until you get to the hottest girl in the club, and you keep letting these other girls see you with other women, kind of creating a jealousy plot line there.
You guys understand what he's talking about, though? In chess-like moves, in order to get to the queen. like that shit.
I call this feminine vanity. You'll notice like a lot of guys in the club, I see like all these AFCs, like they'll keep checking out these girls, they'll try to holler at these hired guns over here. And I'm like, there's a 2 set right here that could be open. All these guys, but they're like hypnotized into these girls that are up on the stool. and they'll sit there and try to talk to him. They're like, hey baby, what's going on? And all she's gonna say is, oh my god, we're dancing, hey. She's gonna blow him off and like lower his value in a way. So kind of just like, if you could put blinders onto that and look at those targets as not applicable at this time until she gets down off the pedestal. Like, he could be opening this set right now and have them for pre-selection when this girl up here like gets off.
So look at that right there. I mean, wouldn't you want that? I mean, wouldn't you feel
At that
greatness in
particular
your life
moment.
if you can just pull that off and you can have that in your hand and you can stick your big fat cock in it? That was my birthday, wasn't it? Dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So
You
this
gotta
is
go
a,
back, dude.
we call this the
Back.
dance floor trap. And
Yes.
there's certain times, there's certain things for a dance floor game. Like at Eye Candy, it's the smaller dance floor, you can't really get trapped. But if you go to a high capacity club like POW or Pure,
Yeah, this was
you're gonna
power
get,
here.
you try to get in here and you're gonna get stuck. And it's just gonna like lower your value. You're gonna be like, oh, this guy's just another guy. So if you want to spit real solid game, stay off the dance floor. Unless you're moving your target there to dance for a few minutes. But I mean, we've done some experiments where like we've taken the stopwatch and I said, all right, let's see how long it takes to get to this crowd. We're talking like 22 minutes of me going like this, you know, trying to crowd walk, you get stuck. It'll just run the clock. Using chick bait in the club. Sometimes I'll call them like power-up items. You ever play in a video game and the more items you collect, like Mario Bros, you get the fire flower, you get the boomerang. Sometimes I'll go through and I'll open a set of like a bachelorette party. Like for the example, they gave me this weird set of these gay pink horns. I was like, all right, fuck it. So I put them on and then every girl is compelled to walk up to me and be like, what's with the horns? So I now have this power-up item that's making them open the conversation with me. This girl, like, I don't even think I would have met her, but she actually followed me around for a few minutes and opens me up, starts dancing with me and making out with me. Like what? Because I'm wearing pink horns and shit? It's really counterintuitive, but it works. So, like this necklace I got from a
See
girl.
what he's demonstrating though. He's demonstrating the thinking outside his comfort zone. He's doing things that he would normally do, which in turn is good, you know, because that's what stirs up the whole plot line of everything.
Yeah, and when you peacock, you're showing the girl like, I could wear these horns. Now I know these horns are gay, and I bet every other guy in the club is hitting on me, calling me a fag or something. But
he was gay.
But it's
he's
showing
not.
that I can stand up to the social pressure, and if I can outbeat all these guys, then I must be the best. If I can dress like this and yet still keep a job and keep a roof over my head and dress successful.
They don't know what we know. They do not know what we know. And so when we do something like this, and the type of reaction that we get from other guys is completely different. Completely different. But we're opening up sets, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, and that's what separates ourselves from all the other people in the whole club.
Lock-in props, like I was talking about with the camera, you can do the same thing with like a feather boa or a hat or even a pin. Sometimes I've used the pin and I'll be talking to the girl and her friend is right there and she looks like she's about to leave and I'm like, hey, could you hold this for a second? And she's just like dumbfounded holding the pin. Now she's stuck there with this pin and I'm just bullshitting along, blah, 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 blah. Hey, give me my pin back, thief. Anyway, and then it kind of throws her for a loop and I go back into the conversation and then take it from there. Also, first she opened me up because I had these horns, but now I can be like, you can wear them for a second. I think they look better on me, but all right, I trust you. You know, don't be a thief. And now I have her locked into the set. She can't go anywhere. So then we kind of repeated this routine all night. So now we go play by play. So we pick out this set to see if we can kind of snap through and get like what it's gonna look like. So he's like, okay, that'll be the target, and that's the obstacle. So he goes in, initiates the chat. And I'm gonna go in and isolate this obstacle. And then I forward merge her into an adjacent 4 set, becoming a 6 set now with these black fools that I don't even know. And I'm just like, yeah, Belinda, this is my friend. Oh shit, did you guys meet each other? And I actually locked her into this set. So they become like a 5 set now. And she's stuck and actually escapes to go back and grab the other picture. And she starts bullshitting with them. Madsen takes this girl to the bar, get a quick drink, number close, kiss close, and build his time bridge. We're here with another example. I went in, he was like, okay, that'll be the target, this girl's the obstacle. I went in, initiated the chat with this girl, and then I told her, Yeah, I'm actually partying here with my buddy DJ Madsen. He's over here. This guy, oh shit, he's got this business, and I AI him, and I was like, here, I'll invite him over. I'll introduce you. Don't embarrass me. And she's like, oh my god. So he comes in, and then I took this girl. I was like, hey, let me show you something. I ran over and ran a routine on her, and he took her to the dance floor. The role like is with as many girls as you can. If you can get like 5 girls and go to the club, you're stacked. Like when Maz and I will try to go out, I usually call I'll call them up, or I'll call some other girls. He'll call some girls, and we try to roll together. Kind of like what Syke was saying, just get as many people as you can. Yeah. You know, you can have Rich. I'd be like, hey, invite a couple girls. I end up rolling. If I bring 5, he brings 5. He brings 5. It's like 15 girls with us. So we're
17 girls with 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just
and then,
calculate that.
You never know. Like I might meet one of his girls. He meets one of mine, and we can swap. It's like baseball cards. And collect them all, trade them. So don't be a tag along. Sometimes girls will be like, this is like their girls' night out, and I got stuck into this, and I knew I shouldn't have done this. This was a couple years ago, and it's kind of like, again, like I look like a tag along, which is lowering my value because they're too into each other, and they're not really worried about me coming home with any girl because they want me as like their AMOG, their protector, so that no other guys kind of fuck with them, so they can have girls' night out. Know your game plan. You know, if you're gonna roll with your guys. Usually before we go out, we'll have like a pass down meeting of what exactly we're gonna do, go over the plan. Boys' night out, BNO, you know, 3 drunk dudes with no girls present. I show this picture to girls, they're like, yeah, you look hot, you look like a bad boy, but she's like, if I saw you guys in the bar, I would never approach you. It's too like intimidating. Pawns and pivots. You can see like the pre-selection. This was my friend Allie and Erica. So they brought this girl along, gave me my intro, and I'm kind of pivoting off her. I keep having Erica give me like little hugs and little kisses on the cheek. So I'm obliquely demonstrating value to this target, and then they keep telling her how great of a guy I am, so she's like really receptive to the approach. All I really had to do is jump right into qualification and just say, like, you know, you seem pretty cool. I'd like to get to know you a little better. And I set it up, and there's my time bridge completion, venue change, and take it from there. Tandem hunting, that can be like 2 things. Either there's a 2-set and I'm with my wing and we're going tandem, like a parachute term, or I'm with my girlfriend and we're gonna go in tandem to find a threesome for the night, which is kind of fun. It's gonna happen.
Mom and the daughter, huh?
Yeah.
Damn. But you know what? That is 100% my game right there.
Nice.
100% what I do. I go after all the older women.
It's gonna happen. She's gonna be with her mom.
The story behind this whole thing right there, man. I actually had free tickets to One Republic at the Pearl, at the Palms, and so I don't even know how that opened up, but we ended up exchanging tickets because we had seat tickets, which was away from everybody, you know, unless if they were assigned, because they were assigned seat, and so they had floor tickets. I was like, oh shit, well that's even better.
We wanted to go game.
Then yeah, exactly. You know, you get to interact with everybody, and you're right there on the stage. You know, so I swapped them, and it's like, oh my god, you know, and then, you know, we played along. We did some routines and things like that, you know, to demonstrate higher value. But she ended up buying us drinks and this and that, and
That's cool.
Then she's showing us pictures of her daughter. I wish my daughter was here. I was sorry.
I mean, you know, I mean, it's, what do you think? I'm not going to take any of those girls home, but, you know, it's still, it's practice,
Right.
and it becomes, like I said, you have to become it.
Yeah. And this was actually
You
a
have to
warm-up
become
set
it.
for that night. So, and
We're
then
having fun. We're
Got
having
to be
fun.
able to interact with everybody.
I actually ended up using this girl because I was her daughter wasn't there, and she's like showing me pictures of her. She's like, oh, it's so mean. And I was like, well, that girl's pretty cute. Come with me, and help me introduce her. She went over with me on my arm, and I was like, yeah, this is I forget her name now. This is my friend Carol, and I got to talking to another girl, and then I was like, cool, I'll catch you at the bar in a minute. She left, and I was in set, and then he comes in, and he's like, oh, how do you know my friend Ryan? This guy gets laid like a rock star. Oh shit.
Be entertaining.
Any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints?
What about you, man? Are you okay with everything, or?
Oh yeah. I was trying to take everything in. Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all doing the demo and everything. Yeah.
I wish we had some pictures of some hotter women so they can see it, but we were more trying to captivate, just so
We're
you'd be able
working
to see
on.
what's-
I'm working on some
Oh, that's-
things.
that's fine.
You know, we're going to build a strong team. Strong team. We're gonna have some shit going down, and you guys are a part of it. So if you guys are willing to change your lives and be for the better, and welcome on this journey that we're providing for other people. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey guys, this is Richard Suazo, and he's got a couple words. He just got back from a 10-day, 13-hour-a-day boot camp.
And I'm just going to talk about wingmanship, because that's today's subject. One of the things we discovered was, when it comes to wingmanship, your wingman is like, he's your guy. You're responsible for him, he's responsible for you. And in like my case, I have a couple stories about wingmanship that are really cool. We were at Club Pure that one night, and my wingman happened to be open up a set, and he got in and he started making out with a girl within 5 minutes. They were making out there in the corner. So I was winging him with her friend. So I'm like really cool with the friend, and then they decide they want to leave. So she goes, "Oh no, I'm the mother hen. This is not happening." No, and then she wanted to take her friend and she wanted to take her away. So that's when I had to say, okay, I gotta change her mind, right? So I took her aside and I just started talking to her, and I started really adding some value to my wingman. Like, oh man, this guy's the sweetest guy I know. We're best friends. I know this guy since for the longest time. I'm gonna see him tomorrow. We're actually gonna be at. Now I told him where and when, what time I was gonna see him tomorrow. So they're not gonna go anywhere. Your friend's she's in safe hands. So then that's when she started to turn, and then that's when she said, well, okay, I'll give you guys an hour. Like, oh man, okay, how to start negotiating now. So
10 seconds to an hour. That's a good deal, man.
So there we go, man.
You can do a lot in an hour.
Yeah.
You can change the whole frame, do even more, make it more than an hour. You know.
Well, this is why
the ball is in his court now. You gotta understand that. The way he's setting it up, the way he did it already.
Yeah.
He's got an hour on his hands already. That to me is like boom. You can do a lot in an hour.
So I have an hour, right? So now I gotta make sure I gotta extend it. So psychologically, you have to think, all right, I have to get her to forget about her friend, or at least have such a good time with me that she's gonna kind of forget about her friend for a while. So that's when I said, okay, I'm gonna teach you some salsa moves. It's like, salsa? Yeah. So I started teaching her salsa. And that pretty much got her mind off her friend, because my wingman, he took off. They went to the hotel room. Like, all right, man, I'll see, delay as much as you can. It's like, all right. So I started dancing with the girl. I danced for like an hour and a half. At this point, she started getting worried. She's like, oh no, I gotta talk to my friend. Oh, don't worry about it. And I would just keep changing the subject. And no matter how many times she went back and told me, oh, I gotta check on my friend, I'd just ignore it, change the subject,
Move on.
and she'd forget about it. But the thing was, make it fun, make it interesting, keep her occupied, and let your wingman do her thing, or let your wingman do his thing. And 2 hours later, my wingman called me up. He was, all right, man, we're coming back to the club. He came back. They were all happy. Then we went out, we hung out, and I guess she wanted to see Shaq. Now the reason I couldn't escalate on her or like do anything with her, because she actually was in a relationship. And if I had tried to game her, I probably would have messed up, and I would have risked having her pull her friend out. So I said, all right, I'm going to take one for the team, not try to do anything with this girl, because she was actually pretty good looking. But I said, well, I'm just going to try to keep her entertained, because my wingman, he got into the set first, and I guess I could let him do his thing. So that's one thing, is like wingman sometimes has to sacrifice. And another example, a wing that I did, I was winging my friend, Vic. He got into a set, and he talked to this British girl. And this British girl, she was alright. She just happened to be with like a whale of a woman. We're talking nasty teeth, glasses, she was like huge. And she just had like the most negative attitude. Oh, I hate this place. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. I hate that. I'm like, oh man, I have to deal with this girl. So I'm talking to this girl, and I'm trying to, you know, bring up the good subjects, the happy subjects for her to talk about. And the whole time she's like, oh, I hate that, I hate that. And every time my wing would try to take his girl away, she'd, come here, where you going? Like, oh man, this is gonna be tough. So my wing kept trying to get this girl to go away to the bar because he wanted to, you know, try to convince her to bounce out of the club. But this woman would not let her friend out of her sight. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take another one for the team. So I said, hey, do you like to dance? She's like, no, I hate to dance. Well, let me show you some moves. And I had to like grab her and grind up against her, and she actually started getting into it. So I'm doing my thing, and my wingman, he takes off. He's got his girl at the bar, and they're doing their thing. So there I am in the middle of the club. All these people are watching me. And I'm right here grinding and shit all up on this big fat woman.
I can just see it in my head.
And everyone's thinking, oh, dude, that guy must be drunk. But, once again, my wingman was able to number close that girl, make out with her, set up a day 2, which was like a date for the next day. Because she, the woman I was dancing with, she was leaving the next day. So all I had to do was just buy that one day for them. So tomorrow they can, you know, the next day they can do whatever they wanted. But that's a prime example of sometimes as a wingman, you know, you're not just there to, you know, be your wingman, like occupy some people. Sometimes you have to actually take over a situation and actually not manipulate, but control the situation so that you can get you can accomplish your mission. Well, we call it missions because you always go out with a game plan thinking, okay, this is what we're going to do. And it actually gets pretty exciting when things like that happen and you see a new situation, it's brand new, you've never experienced before. You know, you feel free to just experiment. And normally what you find is people are just, they're followers.
And that's the
They will
addiction.
follow only because you lead and you're the one calling the shots. People are just willing to say, okay, they'll just follow along.
See, that is the addiction right there, is when you see good positive results come out of situations like that. Things that you normally don't do out of your comfort zone. And that's what I mean. And that's why I strongly stress on that right there, is thinking outside your comfort zone. Things you normally don't do, you do. Okay? You
That's
do.
so freaking true.
You do it, you know, and that's, like right here, you had to take one for the team twice. Not once, but twice, you know, and that's just, you know, the way it goes.
But it will reciprocate. You'll get it next time.
But see, the thing
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
you know, to me, where I got on my level now is like, any type of girls that I'm getting, I know her wingman, or I know who she's with, she's gonna be hot as fuck, so I don't have to worry about some, no offense, Richard.
I know, man,
I've been there, man, I've been there, I know what you're talking about, I've been there, you know, some fat girl, or, you know, trying to, you know, I just, you know, but that's just me, you know, this is the level that I'm at right now, because I worked hard to get there, I've worked hard, and I'm still learning. I learned from you guys just by sitting here
Why do we keep
and getting to know you, you know.
And I heard you mention again, and he's been mentioning it, you know, constantly, the number close. Why in the hell do you want the number close thing? What's the big deal with that?
Well, see, because if you can't get the girl to go with you at that night, then you can at least get your phone number, and then that goes into another a new game, which is
Okay.
what we call the phone game.
I totally disagree with that. Maybe because I'm self-employed and I work in sales. I look at it as I'm not so big on getting number. I got to close her right here, right now. Because if I get her number, that gives her a chance, an opportunity to think about it. Hey, I'm not going to be sucking his dick later. I don't want to allow her that time frame the next day. Well, you know, I was doing this with this guy, making out in the club, and 24 hours later, she's thinking, oh man, I was making out with this guy in the club. So here's how I handle the number thing. You know, I always close on them. That's a sales term. I close on them by, you know, what you guys are saying, bounce to another location. I think it's what it's called. I get them, you know, say I just met you at ABC. Well, hey, why don't we go over to here? You know, what are you doing a little bit later? Let's go over to here.
That's what we call insta-date.
Okay, the insta-date. Sure, whatever term, I don't know what it is, but I always get them, well, you know what works good for you? 12 o'clock's not good? How about 4 o'clock? You know,
Oh,
social
this guy,
drinker.
right?
And I try to close
goes,
on
I can learn
them
from
right
that. See,
then
there.
and there on the spot. Say I met her at Chevron when I was pumping gas at 8 o'clock in the morning because she was checking me out. What are you doing for lunch? What are you doing for dinner? I do not want 24 hours to get in between me and getting my dick sucked. 24 hours is too long of a time frame. So I don't understand this number close thing. I never close on a number.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
see,
so in
this,
other words-
this,
Certain situations call for that. That's all,
Yes.
but not all.
Yeah,
But I mean,
it is
on a
important,
turn
though.
note,
It is important.
the thing I mentioned to
because
Ryan, I never do clubs or anything.
Well, see,
I've never been a clubber.
That right there,
Never.
That right there, okay. Your mentality is limiting the belief. I never do clubs.
No,
See, right there,
I haven't.
I just caught yourself.
That's why I came to learn to do clubs.
I caught yourself right there. Or even the fact that I don't number close. Why? You know, the more tools that you know,
Yeah.
the better you are.
I just don't see how that's a real benefit. I see it as a negative, just because I don't want
It's
her to
not a
remember
negative.
their 24
You
hours
can't think of
later,
anything
though.
as a negative.
You can
Because if you
text
got her
them.
number, then at least you know that
text
you
them,
can
you can
follow.
get back with them later on,
It's
and
a
call them, you
follow.
can follow up with them.
How
It's a
many times do
follow.
you get the right number?
You have. Well, see, this is where your game. This is where your presentation. This is where your posture.
Because I give out.
This is where the
I
whole
give out
pickup
fake
is
numbers.
right here.
Personally,
This
as
is
a
where the
guy, I
pickup-
give bitches my fake number. So I'm wondering how many.
This is the pickup. This is where the attraction comes in. You have to have strong game. You have to build the attraction between her and you. Then you have to move into comfort, you know. And that's all you might. That's all you might accomplish in that night. But you got her. Let's say you kiss closer and you number closer. Okay, you got into that level already. Why quit? Why quit? You know. Why
I don't
quit?
quit. I try to get
You know.
whatever you can get within the first 24 hours. And
So
you have a
let's
chance
say
to
you
get it
did get
later.
her number. Let's say you didn't get her number. Okay, right there and there, the game starts all over. You got to start from A1.
How many
Not
times
only
did
that,
Hottie
though, not
give
only
you their
that
numbers?
though. Not only that though. Okay, when you number close, it's just a follow up. It's just a potential. It's a potential. Okay.
Of your potential, how
It's a
many do you get
potential.
the right number?
It's
though?
a potential to get on a first date, and then a first date is just another game that you got to start all over on, and then move on to the next date, and then eventually, you know, hopefully, after 3 dates, you know, normally that's what PUA say is 3 dates. You know, you seal the deal, and depending on the type of high caliber type of woman, you know, she might have morals, values, whatever, you know, but.
You guys want anything warm up?
Basically, what it comes down to is you can't get what you call what you want. You at least have a phone number, an email.
So how many of those numbers are accurate? No one's throwing out a percentage rate. Did you guys go after numbers?
depends how well
Because
you
you
do
have
it.
to be good at what you do.
It really doesn't matter because if even
Like you hit on
and even
10
if
to
it
get the right
doesn't-
number from 2, or
Oh my God!
Okay,
I'll
you
give you
have the
I'll give you
worst-
the best example of
the worst ratio
ever.
ever.
Okay, like I was at the piano bar. Okay, and I opened this shit up so fucking smooth. I mean, it was like I blew my own fucking self. I was like, Jesus Christ, that just happened.
I'm good at this.
You know, she ended up giving me the wrong fucking number. I was pissed.
it happens, but
It happens. It happens. Who
shouldn't
gives a
limit
fuck? Move on to the next. But you know what? I
Just
learned
working
from
on the
that,
learning curve.
and my game is just not. It got stronger. It got stronger. It lets me know, okay, that she ain't shit. She don't know what's going on in my life as much as I don't know what's going on in her life, okay. And the fact is though, that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
yeah, it's all about just
Move on to the
You're
next.
just learning it.
Move on to the
Learning
next.
it and learning
Because
it.
you know what? It wasn't meant to be.
You wouldn't want to be with a girl anyways.
Exactly.
Like that, you know?
Exactly. It wasn't meant to be.
I usually don't go for numbers. I more grab
Facebook,
their
yeah.
Facebook.
Facebook is even better because you know why? Because let's say that you didn't. Yes, let's say my wing did demonstrate some higher value to me. Okay, the words, okay, processed in her mind. Okay, but let's say if I Facebook closed that and then she looked up on there and all my pictures show up, that just reinforces that attraction that I built the night before when I first met her. And that, see, that's where it's important for the number close and the Facebook, is because of that. Okay, the attraction that you built, okay, the night when you approached her and you met her and you built that attraction and you built that comfort with her, okay, and then you number close her, then the next day when you call back, you have to come off like that to her to step back into that frame to where she felt that attraction towards you. And this is where you pull her. This is where you get more closer to the prize. And ultimately, you know, what you want to do at this point is you want to set up a first date. Now your first date is important. That's the crucial point. Okay, that's gonna make you or break you, because not only that, she's gonna fucking shit test the shit out of you. And you gotta be prepared for that, you know. And what you gotta do is you gotta be calm. You gotta be very just. I've learned from my shit, and you know.
Hey Jeff, pull that
I walked
fan,
into
brother.
a trap. I did.
Yeah.
She was a hot, sexy, fucking 23-year-old stripper, man, and I fucked up because I didn't know. I thought I gotten past that, but she was shit testing me the whole time, and it just kind of blew up.
What does shit testing mean?
But that happens. It happens.
What do you guys mean by shit testing?
Oh,
She's testing you. She's testing to see what type of character that you are.
that's like a
If you're
congruence test.
if you're for
Like
real,
what?
if you're for real or not.
Yeah, congruence.
Congruence, yes.
So in other words,
Intuition.
in other words, like girls, they have this image of their perfect man in their mind. And they say their perfect man says he's a strong, confident guy. So if you go up to a girl and you start talking to her, and let's say you say something like, I don't know,
Richard, man.
I,
Stepping up.
I own my own business or something like that. And she will say, well, how much money do you make? Right there, a strong, confident man, he really doesn't need to try to brag about his business. Like, oh, I make, X amount of dollars, this and that. He would just say, I make enough or something like that. She's testing to see, well, this guy, is he really who he says he is? Or does he match the image I have in my mind of the man I want to be with?
An easier example,
So-
but he's on the right track. He's on the right track, like even to this day, okay. I even sometimes feel awkwardness when it comes to rock, but you know what? I'm not gonna fall into their bullshit, their shit test, And it's the fact that women have that fucking set program or that stereotypical fucking frame, okay, that the man is supposed to buy them a fucking drink every goddamn time, and that just blows me away, okay? And for her to try and manipulate it to get her advantage, that is a shit test right there. And believe me, it has been so awkward for me. Even like 2 weeks ago when I was at Tao Beach, it's beautiful. I mean, I haven't even posted the pictures up yet, but they're about to come up.
Nice.
But I was hanging out with her all day. I was fucking building this attraction. I even fucking opened up this set from Miami because we didn't have. There was this big old bed, and that's where my whole group was. And so it's like we were all just sitting there, just I couldn't do that. I had to move around. I had to open up. I had to set up my foundation somewhere because I didn't want to be that AFC walking around in there with nobody to fucking because I went there by myself, and I just met some of my friends there that are a part of getting inside the venue. They're promoters and things like that. But anyways, me and this girl, I just hit it off and this and that, and she's like, let's go get a drink. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. And so then we ordered drinks and this and that, and then at the point where we were about to pay for it, I was like, all right, well, how about you get this one and I get the next one, pinky swear, and she goes, and then she goes like, oh, well, I can pay for my own drink, and that's where the awkwardness kind of, it just kind of just got a little, because she was expecting for me to just not even just to give in to her fucking power that she, as a female, that she feels like she can hold, but she looks like she never matched.
So what happened?
It didn't
go much further than that.
It didn't really because because she's like, and then it's like, oh, and it's like, hey, let's go on the dance floor. So I pulled her and leader of men, and pulled her to the dance floor, and then we just got it, and then she checked her phone. She's like, oh yeah, I'm meeting my friend here, which she was meeting her friend at the time, and that whole time we were getting a drink and we were dancing. So it's like, It's like, all right, cool. I'll just be over here, blah blah blah. And then after that, I seen them, and then I know she seen me, and then they like, I don't know if that was just her friend or maybe she was hooking up with him or whatnot.
Give you an example. Like my problem when I first started out, because I haven't been doing this too long. The first problem I had was when I would open up sets, I'd come in like really high energy, and I wouldn't take the conversation anywhere. It was all a joke, make fun, tease. It gets the girls laughing. It gets them to interact with you, but there's no substance there, because as soon as you stop talking, the energy drops, and they'll say, "Okay, now stop you," and poof, they're taking off.
See, right there is a shit test.
So the coaches, they'll sit there and they'll watch you go into sets, and they'll notice all your body language. If you're leaning in, if you got bad posture, they notice everything. So when you come out of the set, they'll say, okay, you were leaning too much banter or teasing, tone it down a little bit. Go. They take to go into another set. So you go in there and you try to adjust.
Freaking rapid fire, huh?
Yeah, you try to
That's the best
adjust
way to do it,
what it
though.
was you're doing.
That's fun.
The set blows up, you go back. But the first day, I was able to tone down my energy, and the one thing I really got rid of was I opened up and I'd say no more than maybe 3 funny lines. After I finish the 3 funny lines, I go straight into asking like a real question of someone, and then that's when I got a number. I got a girl's phone number, and the rest of the night I was actually getting to real deep conversations with girls. Like, wow, it's like the conversations have now totally changed, where the girls are now telling me stuff like, I want to be a dancer, I've always loved dancing, rather than me teasing them about being a dancer.
He's speaking the language, you have to like find that fucking frequency on the radio to speak their language, and that's basically
girls
what it
love
is,
talking about themselves, especially
Of course, dude.
stuff that they really care about.
That's why
If you can
need to
get them
find-
talking to you about it.
Find their passions.
But like I said, it was only the first day, so I just wanted to get that out of the way, be able to have real conversations. The second day, my anxiety actually skyrocketed through the roof, and I couldn't talk to anyone. So my coach was like, "All right, this is what you do. Don't game, right? Don't even think about nothing. This is what I want you to do. So just go around the club right now. Anyone you see, just smile at them, say hi. Mention something about their necklace, their hair, their eyes, their smile, anything. Just compliment people around the club right now. Go." So I was freaking out. So I come to the first girl. I said, "Oh, nice smile. Keep doing that." And as I kept going through the club, my anxiety started going away, and I was back to normal. And then it was, "Okay, you feel better now?" I said, "Yeah, okay, now you see those 2 girls right there? Go." And I went in there, and boom, it's like my energy picked back up. So on day 2, I discovered that when you're freaking out, there are tricks you can use to try to bring yourself back down. Okay, then he said, okay, on day 3, he said, all right, you can now open the conversations. You're really good. You're pretty funny. You ask good questions. I mean, the girls really like you. So this is what I want you to do. I want you now to start getting the sexual attraction going. So you got to start, we call it keynote, which is touching. That's what I had another problem with, because for me it felt awkward to come up to a girl and start talking to her. "Hey, what's your name?" and just start touching them. So I go in, hey, open the set, touch them on the shoulder, joke around, but I was still having a lot of problems with it. So that 4th day was just me getting used to touching people, getting playful, hugging, pushing back. So it got really natural. So on the 5th day, this is the most important day, because that's when they said, all right, you can open conversations now, you get good rapport with the girls, you can really talk, you got some keynote going, which is just light, friendly touching, but there's no sexual energy behind it, right? You got to get that girl turned on. So, okay, how the hell am I going to do that? He says, well, this is what you do. You look at her straight in the eyes, and you just go for it. Like, oh man, it's going to be awkward. Now, at the time, this day happened to be fashion day, right? Because they wanted us to change our fashion to look a certain way. Because girls have this image in their head of what's sexual. Like, say you see a rock star, or you see computer IT geek. Who is she gonna be sexually attracted to? Rock star. If you don't look the part, you're not gonna get anywhere. You can have the best personality in the world. As soon as she sees IT guy, not gonna happen. So this is why my PUA name is now Shirt. Because one of the girls that's a fashion designer, she said, see that shirt? It was $95. I'm like, no way, I'm not buying that. She's like, buy that shirt, you're getting laid tonight with that shirt. I'm like, all right. So I put on the shirt, and it was a really nice shirt. I'm like, all right, I feel it, man. I feel really confident today. So we go to Carnival Court, and it was, all right, this is it. I want you to just go for it. See a girl, make eye contact, walk up to her, and just do it. All right, this is gonna be kind of awkward. I walk into the club, I see a girl standing at the bar, and I do it, dude. I just walk up there, I looked at her and said, hey, what's your name? You're cute. And she said, oh, my name's Lisa. So I grabbed her, and I walked up against the wall like this, and boom, we were making out.
Nice.
And then we started making out. I said, okay, I'm gonna take her to the dance floor to really get her juiced up. So I took her to the dance floor and I basically manhandled her on the dance floor. And that's when she said, my friends are leaving, you should come with us. So I bounced out of the club with them. And here's another wingman story. You can actually make other people your wingman. Because when we bounced out, I was me and 4 girls. The worst logistics ever. I mean, the girl's not going to leave her 4 friends. So we're going back to to Denny's. So I said, okay, when we're at Denny's, I'm going to make the girls really like me. So when we got to Denny's, I started talking to the girls, and we became really good friends. When it came time to come to the hotel, all the girls had moved into the other room that they had gotten, and they left me and
Lisa.
Me and Lisa. They left us on the bottom floor, and that's where I closed her.
Oh
See?
shit,
So all this
Richard
stuff
with the success story up in this motherfucker. Damn, man.
This was accumulation of all the boot camp stuff. Cause really, man, it's a whole lot of stuff. Like, it's huge. But if you just really break it down to just single pieces and you just work on one thing at a time, eventually you start noticing things right away. And right now, I'm like in the Matrix, man. Like I see a set on man conversation, and I see things happening, and I can either get in the get in the way before something happens, or I can adjust. Especially when it comes to like we call it A-mogging, which is when another guy comes into the set and he's gonna try to take your girls away. Perfect example of this boot camp thing we did. I managed to take one girl that was dancing with the whole bachelor party. I managed to steal her away from all the guys. And the whole time the guys were trying to keep me from taking her. But I just did this. It's the simplest trick. I came up to the girl, I said, hey, come on, let's dance. I started dancing with her, and I started walking away. And the guy came up to me and he said, hey man, she's with us, she's with us. And I said, what? She said, she's with us, she's with us. I said, what? I can't hear you. And he's trying to tell me like this the whole time. So like in the club, it looks like this guy's like, he's leaning all over me trying to scream in my ear. And the whole time I got the girl in my arm just walking away.
That's fucking great. Oh, sorry, man.
Straight man, I'm a changed man after that boot camp. I can see things now.
You see, and that's the beauty behind it all, guys. I'm telling you, this guy right here, he's changing his life.
And I've only been doing this less than
He is changing his life.
Less than 6 months.
And that is just only one experience. To come on many others. You know, it's an addiction. The way he felt, the way he pulled that off in such a smooth format, it's an unbelievable type of feeling that you get internally.
Oh, yeah.
Of how you can accomplish that.
Stuff that you'd never even imagine of doing before. I've never would have thought
relate to
doing
that. I can definitely relate to that.
No,
it's
it's
happened to me. Now
standard positive
the
reinforcement.
important
man.
thing is though, the
Dog
important
pillow
thing is
biscuit.
though, when he is aware now, he has seen it, he has seen a glimpse of it, okay, to becoming a master at it, okay, and this is where his motivation, and this is where his commitment is gonna stick with it now.
Yeah.
Now he has seen it.
Now you just have to keep going out.
Seen it.
Now you gotta get in the Playboy mode.
Crack pickup artist.
And that's
I
why
keep going
I
out.
never, as
Oh,
tough
you have to keep
as
on going out
tough
constantly.
as tough and grinding as it has been for me. And I mean, I've been doing it for a long time now, and it's been tough. As much as frustration.
Hey, could you drop the air down a
you
little
know,
bit?
sometimes
Oh, yeah,
I still
I did.
call myself an AFC.
I
'cause I get
kept it off from
frustrated.
filming the first
I
part.
do. I get frustrated, but that doesn't stop me. That doesn't stop me. And I'm only getting stronger. I'm only getting stronger to what I really
You
want.
learn every all the time.
And I don't change. I don't change who I became. I'll never
Roll
do
out
that.
here.
And that's where, and this is
Yeah,
where,
can you get me in front of him?
this
Thank
is
you.
where the success.
So you
comes
built
in,
up
is
some
right
concert confidence, brother.
there. Is when he feels that,
That's what it
he
is.
doesn't change.
All the other shit is
Because
just
he knows
shit.
he's doing something right.
Right.
He knows he's doing something right. He's
You
changing
just gotta
his
master
life.
and calibrate it.
And not only that though, okay, if you surround yourself with the positive people like us, you will get positive results.
Oh, that's important too. When you're out there, you're gonna find yourself a lot of stuff that you just don't know what to do. It really helps to have someone right then and there tell you, okay, this is what you need to do.
Oh, I can't imagine.
And then you
Fuck
just
yeah,
do it.
man, that accelerated version on 10 days?
just
Shit,
do
my
it
mind
right
probably would have
How
freaking
much
popped.
was the whole-
Together with me or something, like, you know, I also offer if you want to go out and you know work. I'm available. So I haven't been around too much because I've been getting into other things. You know, if you guys are interested, I can let you in on some other things where it would be some sort of value to you.
I'm interested.
Not a problem, man. You know.
Because for me, you know, in my everyday life, I do okay. I'm picking up play just out and about. But, you know, the last 6 months or so, I've been hanging out a lot of lounges and happy hours and shit. And I'm getting about really high 90% of my pussy just in my everyday life. And I'm probably 3% at the clubs, the lounge, and happy hour. So something's not clicking. Because I can just go to Target and a girl come home with me and suck my dick from Target. But I can't go to a lounge and get a girl to come home with me. I can't figure it out.
Target.
Everyday life is the best place, at least for me, because I like to approach people.
I'm very
But I
similar.
can't get any.
I am
at
very
clubs.
similar to you, like you
Like
though.
3%er.
I'm very similar to you know. I understand where you're coming from because, you know, I lag, but I still do it. Whatever type of shit test she's gonna fucking pull, I guarantee you, I'm gonna swipe
So how
him
long
out.
you been playing
I'm
for?
gonna swipe him
You're gonna
out.
throw it back in her face.
Yes, I'm gonna swipe them out. See,
Yeah, I
that's
need
the
to
thing.
do that.
The experience and the practice that I have created for myself, I'm ready for any type of shit.
Because you know, you
Yeah.
guys were mentioning earlier the cock blocker. I have one of those last night. It was funny, just after meeting you a couple days ago. And last night I was out with a chick, I had a wing chick with me, and there were some cock blockers coming around. And I'm just seeing some of the things that he was mentioning in the club. I was actually I live in Painted Desert, and right across was Santa Fe's right there. And then they have a center bar inside there, and it's happy hour until 9 o'clock, 7 days a week. So we went in there just to get drunk for a couple bucks. And the chicks were just coming in little sets. And I'm starting to use the word sets and shit now. Coming in. I was all watching it, just seeing some of the interaction. And this girl, she's a dominant girl, and all the other chicks are kind of following her along. Because he was talking about like the alpha girl and stuff. So I'm seeing all that in real life, and I was just freaking cracking up.
The one that stands out.
I was just cracking up.
Most girls, they go out in groups, and so
Yeah.
you can even identify the alpha female in the group, the one that's going to
And that's how I normally get laid.
bring
I
all
go out
the
with
attention
with a
to
chick.
the group because she might be the hottest one, you know. And then there might be the ugliest one, which is like the mama hen, you know, which is the found leader of the fucking group. Believe it or not, she's the one who controls it. She's the one who's looking out for her friends.
Yeah, that was a hard
And
one.
so, you know, and
How
if
do
you
you
get
come up-
if you get in touch with her, it makes it a whole lot easier. You know.
How can you get, whenever there's a set of two, it's really hard for me to get into play. There's just two of them.
Why is that?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I am very unsuccessful when there's two girls. I am also if there's just two girls, I won't go up to it. I like 3 or 4, maybe up to 5, and then I can kind of work and bounce off it.
You see,
Why is it harder, at least for me? I don't know what I'm doing because I'm going solo in the wingman, but I can't get any when there's 2 girls. But if there's more than 2,
Oh.
I do a lot better. And I don't know why, but it's harder.
I can tell you why. The max number is 4. In any group, a conversation can only sustain 4 people. You coming into the set, you become the 5th wheel. And this is what they call the 5th wheel theory. If there's 4 people, there's 4 people be talking to each other. You come in, you're now the 5th person.
They're all paired off.
So now you can probably talk to these 2, and then these 2 will conversate with each other. So now you have 3 people talking, and yeah, these 2 will talk. So no matter where you go, someone always has someone to talk to, right? No matter who you're talking to, there's always like a group that'll separate and talk amongst themselves. If you go into just 2 girls, guess what? You have to entertain 2 people. You can't do it.
That's what my thing is. How do you keep 2 entertained so you can get one of them? Because that I've not been able to do it. I'm almost.
Now you see,
I've only been single for a little while. I'm almost no longer going after sets of 2. But the vast majority of the girls that I see in everyday life, 85% of them, there's 2.
of course,
And I'm almost scared. If there's 2, I want to approach them.
it can't be done.
You're limiting belief.
You'll learn.
No, that's why I'm
that's
asking.
here.
How do you go around the 2s?
The more you're
It's
around
very
stuff,
easy. It's very easy, believe it or not.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually
Just know
easier
what you're
than
doing.
Because if I can start breaking into
It's
the
actually
2s,
you're making it too complex. You're making it too complicated for yourself.
no, I get that.
Then what it
'Cause I'm
really-
getting
then
too
what
scared
it
to go
really
after the
is,
sets of
believe it or
2s.
not, then what it really is, I mean, what's a 2? I think a 2 set, to
Should be
me,
easier.
is a lot easier than a 4 set because you have
Exactly.
to entertain 4 other girls rather than 2 girls. You know?
In theory, that's what my brain's telling me.
I mean,
but in
it
my
is,
reality,
it is.
it's been the opposite.
Well, don't just set that out. Try new things.
You just get creative.
Be creative. Yes.
Like you have to get creative.